Greetings, everyone. Tarot from the Divine here. And we're going to try a different form of a message. And it's going to be a series. It's just going to be a daily thing. It's going to be called Lessons and Blessins. So what we'll be doing is we'll be doing a spread, probably the Celtic Cross. And we'll be doing a spread. And we'll be doing the first set of cards will be the lessons, and the second set of cards will be the blessings. And we're just going to see how that goes. So let me know how you like it. You know, please watch the video and let me know how you think it's going to go. So the first set here is the lessons. Okay. And I'm using the Occult Tarot for this, and for the Blessings, I'll be using the Angel Tarot. So there's going to be some different meanings, okay? So the first card is the present situation, and it's the King of Swords, and it's Eligos, and reveals knowledge of forthcoming battles, and procures the favor of lords and kings. Okay? What's crossing for positive or negative is Moloch, and that's the devil. And you know the devil is about bondage, addictions, restrictions, and such. Makes one worse off than ever before. Tricks mortals into being bound, accepts child sacrifice. Okay. So that's a lesson. And it's above, reveals knowledge of forthcoming battles and procures favor of lords and kings. And crossing, so the lords and the kings might be being made off worse than ever before because they're going to be tricked into being bound. Okay? The basis of the situation is Fornius, the Six of Cups. Now, Six of Cups is typically, oh, what am I trying to say? Whenever I see the Six of Cups card, I think of childhood innocence. I think of nostalgia. That's the word I was looking for. Okay, so this teaches rhetoric and languages, gives one a good reputation, makes one beloved by friends and foes. Okay, so someone is wanting to be beloved by their friends and foes. And someone is in power, but they're going to be crossed by the devil. All right? Past influence, it's Crocel. Temperance, which is balance. Teaches geometry and liberal sciences. Makes great noises and warms water. Okay, so someone may have had balance in the past. They were, they could have been a teacher of geometry or science of some sort. So math or science. Future energy is Paimon, the Queen of Wands. Teaches art and sciences. Tells anything one desires to know. Gives dignities, can make any man subject to one's demands. Gives good familiars. So this is incoming energy. This is someone that is a Queen of Wands. Could be, it's about feelings, relationships, or self-expression. Goals, creativity, and passion. Could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is someone coming into the energy. But remember, they're a lesson. Okay? So think of these cards as the karmics. Okay? This is what the karmics are doing. Okay? So someone's coming in that they're, you know, they're in the upright and they're teaching art and sciences and everything. But they tell you anything you want to know. But that doesn't mean that it's the truth. Okay? The goal or destiny is Bethan, the Knight of Wands. Teaches the values of herbs and stones. Transports anyone suddenly from one place to another. So someone wants to learn how to do that. They want to learn how to transport from one place to another instantly. You know, they want to learn about their stones. You know, and these are lessons, and these are all teachers. Okay, but they're karmics. So at some point, they, you know, a karmic can help you, but they will turn around and teach you in such a way that it's a lesson for you. Like, you know, let's say you want to, I don't know. Let's say you want to have more money. Okay, so you go to one of these and you go, I want to have more money. Okay. But they will, and they'll give you more money, but then they'll make it so that maybe your job is going to make you work, you know, double time to get that extra money. And that's just an example. But, you know, that's how they work. Your current feelings, strength, vine, builds towers or destroys stone walls, causes rough waters, and finds witches. Okay, so the strength card is inner strength, inner, you draw on your inner reserves. And the Chariot, Andras, is a sower of discord and slayer of men. And this is the energy around you. So there's someone around you, and this is the Chariot. There is someone around you that is going to be causing discord. They may even unalive people. And with the Chariot, they may have like a getaway car. Your inner feelings is the Lovers, Zepar, causes women to love men and brings them together in love, can make women barren. Okay, so someone may be in their inner feelings, they, you know, they want to fall in love, and so they ask for, you know, to fall in love, but they'll fall in love, but they may not be able to have children. See how that's working? And the final outcome is the Hierophant, which is a teacher, lessons, let's see here. Could be marriage. So someone wants to fall in love. This could be marriage. They may get married. It's Urias. Teaches astrology, the virtues of the stars and the houses of the planets, and how to understand them. Transforms men with dignities. Finds favor with friends and foes. So, you know, it sounds like a beneficial card, but again, it's a karmic, it's a lesson. So yeah, they'll teach you astrology and the virtue of the stars and the houses of the planets and all of this, but what is the price you're going to have to pay to do that? And to get the marriage, the price you may have to pay is, you know, not being able to have children. All right, so that's the lessons part. Now let's look at the blessings part. Okay, so now we have to do this. All right, so the current situation is the Knight of Swords, Harahel, the all-pervading God. Intellectual richness, protects fertility of women, makes children respectful towards their parents. All right, and the lesson, reveals knowledge of forthcoming battles, and procures the favor of lords and kings. So this is the lords and kings, and Harahel is coming in to protect the fertility of the women, to give these kings and rulers intellectual richness, which is knowledge, and makes children respectful towards their parents. All right. The crossing card is Umabel, Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is known in typical tarot as, like the sword of truth. Truth's coming out. Thoughts, communication, and logic. Could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It's new beginnings or new opportunities. So new truth, new information possibly. And the blessing from, you've got the lesson, but the blessing is affinity and friendship, obtain the friendship of anyone. So you're going to be able to, this person is going to be able to make friends, and this Moloch is going to make everyone worse off than before. So your lesson is the blessing is you may be able to make friends, but the lesson is, the friends you make, if you have this curse or this lesson, then people you meet, you may make them worse off than before. Or if you meet this person, they may make you worse off than before, but you're able to make new friends. So, that the temptation there would be to just blow everything off and go make you some new friends. Well, there's that, but you still have to learn the lesson. Or you have to fight down that temptation. The basis of the situation is the Knight of Wands, Hahuia, which is protection, prevents discovery of secret crimes, and saves exiles. So if someone has a secret crime, this angel will help them to protect it. And this Fornius, they give you a good reputation, and this angel will help you protect your crimes, but you're still going to have to pay for your crimes. In the end, karma's going to come through, or judgment's going to come through. In the very end, you're still going to have to pay for your crimes. Let's see if I can get this up a little more. I didn't realize. Let's see here. There. Is that better? And then y'all can zoom in, I guess. Now, past energy is Lilahel, the Knight of Pentacles, which is a slow-moving energy. It brings in, Pentacles is, material things. So money, health, wealth, career, your material possessions, your stuff. Okay? So light of understanding acquires knowledge and cures illness. So this would be your health. And the lesson is teaching geometry and liberal sciences, makes great noises, and warms water. So this is your past energy. I mean, this could be a lesson that you've learned. You've acquired knowledge of the mathematics and the sciences possibly. And curing illness. You may be able to, Knight of Pentacles, you may be able to, you may have learned some healing techniques. Okay, the lesson of Paimon tells anything one desires to know, teaches arts and sciences, can make any man subject to one's demands, gives good familiars. So they teach, this lesson giver teaches you how to control someone. And then we have the Knight of Cups, which is a possible love offer coming in, or news of love, or some sort of an emotional attachment. Perception and revelation, discovers hidden treasure, reveals secrets of nature. So with the Knight of Cups, someone might be learning to use, might be learning how to control someone for emotions. So like a love spell, which we all know you're not supposed to do, but these are all temptations. These are all lessons. Okay? And these are the blessings that come in. But you can lose your blessings with your temptations if you act on them in a wrong way. The King of Pentacles is the goal or destiny. It's Lahaya. And its obedience causes harmony and peace, calms anger in anyone. And Bathan teaches the values of herbs and stones, transports anyone suddenly from one place to another. So the lesson, transporting anyone suddenly from one place to another is going to have a price. And the price may be obedience. It may not turn out the way you want. It may make you angry to transport anyone suddenly from one place to another. So if you're transporting, either you're transporting yourself or you're wanting to transport someone else to you or somewhere else, then that could make them angry, and then you have to rely on your blessing to ease their anger. The Nine of Pentacles, your current feelings. So your Nine of Pentacles is, contentment. You've got what you need in the material world. Okay, and it's Ehuia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I know I'm not. Submission to higher order. Identifies traitors and destroys their plans. Well, that all sounds well and good, but submission to higher order. You have to submit to a higher order in order to accomplish this. And your lesson, building towers or destroys stone walls, causes rough waters and finds witches. And that's the strength. So you have to draw on your inner strength to receive your Nine of Pentacles, and you do have to submit to a higher order. Okay, because remember, these lessons, these karmics, they are in this life to be a karmic, okay? And they are here to teach us lessons. And when we receive these lessons, then the karmic moves on to the next person that they are supposed to give a lesson to, the next student. Okay? That's all we are here, is students. Okay? Look at it that way. And these karmic people are teaching us lessons. Lessons to, keep ourselves safe and make good decisions and, all of that. But they have to report back to whoever they report to, but eventually it gets to the Most High. Because the Most High is who is in charge of all of this. The Most High, before we come to this earth, we plan out our life. We have our karmics and we have our, friends and whatnot. And so our karmics are assigned certain lessons, and they just keep us going on this karmic wheel, and that helps them prolong their life, and it gives them brownie points, for being a good karmic, because they're trying to, it's an aspect of their life that they have, of their soul journey that they haven't experienced yet. So, maybe last time around they were genuinely a good person and all of that. And this time around, they're coming back as a karmic, possibly to, teach the people that were mean to them in their prior life, teach them some lessons. So they have to come in as a karmic and teach lessons, and then they have to report back as to how well or how poorly these people have received their lesson. And then they either have to go another round with them, continue to teach them the lesson because they're not learning, or whatever. But that's basically how the karmics work. They're here to teach us the lesson, and some of them have a really hard time doing it. And then that's how we get the alcoholics and the drug addicts and stuff like that. Not only are maybe they're having a hard time dealing with their conscience of having to do this to people, they didn't realize how hard it was going to be. But so then they draw their students in to teach them the lesson of what addiction is like, what alcoholism is like, what all of this is like, so that they can learn the lesson and move on, and in the next life they hopefully can avoid that addiction. So they're working kind of for the good, but they're doing it in a karmic way. And I hope that makes sense. But anyway, let's go on with it. The surrounding thoughts or surrounding energy is the Chariot. It's this person that's coming in, they're doing discord, there's, possibly unaliving people. They're just really not a good energy to be around. And then we have the Star. And it's God the Just. Clemency and equilibrium, protects against attacks in the courts. Now, another way to look at this is, as you go through lessons and blessings, you can choose the lesson or you can choose the blessing. Yeah, these are your choices in this situation. These can also be choices. These aren't things that are necessarily happening to you, but a situation may come up and you have a choice of doing this or you have a choice of doing this. If you need to learn the lesson, you'll choose the karmic. If you're done with the lesson, then you choose the blessing. Maybe that's a better way of explaining it. Eight of Pentacles, the inner thoughts. So Eight of Pentacles is, reaping what you sow, accomplishing what you've put out, that now you're reaping your rewards. Okay? And it's Lekabel. And it's intellectual talent and provides knowledge. So if you're reaping your rewards and all of that, then you're also going to receive intellectual talent and providing knowledge. But if you need to choose to be, if you need to choose the list, oh gosh, the lesson, then you may choose to do a love spell on someone, which could cause you to lose your rewards. Okay? And so the final outcome is the Ace of Wands. So that could be a new love offer, someone coming in, and especially if you're doing the love spell, you know, we've got the marriage up here. And then we have Omael, which is fertility and multiplicity, protects against despair, and helps one be patient. Okay? So you may have done the love spell, and you may have caught the person, and you may have married him, and now you're barren. And this is teaching patience. Okay, so this is teaching a blessing of patience and fertility and multiplicity. So if you did the love spell, then you may be barren. But if you choose to release the love spell, or you choose to, you know, admit what you've done and all of that, then you could be rewarded with fertility and multiplicity. I hope this is interesting for you. Please let me know. Like, share, comment, or subscribe. Hit the notification bell on the way out. I'm going to be doing these every day for a while, and we're going to see if we can, you know, help some people decide between, or even recognize, you know, the decision that they're going to have to make. Because when you're on a path, you always have a decision. You always have the decision to go with the karmic lesson, or you have the decision to go with the blessing. That's also a lesson. But it's a blessing because you've learned this lesson and you chose against it and all of that. So, but if you choose the karmic path, then, you know, at least you kind of know what's going to happen. So, again, thank you all for being here. Thank you for taking time out to listen to my readings, and hit that notification bell. And then again, until next time, hey, have a great day.